When enamelling copper bowls, it's very important that they are extremely clean and free of any grease. When they come from the spinner, they will often have grease marks or from the actual spinning, and we need to get rid of that for enamelling to adhere to the copper. To do that, I use a copper cleaning called Penny Bright. It's very effective and works wonders. So it comes with a little sponge, and there's a cream down in the top. So to use it, you start using a bit of water, make it wet. Wet the sponge and put a bit of cream on, and then you can start just wiping it inside first. Just keep on until all the grease is gone. And now on the outside, it's going to be just as clean. That's it, then we just dry it and it's ready for enamelling. And I think you can see the difference on the two. I've just shown how to clean the bowls, and I have now had the one ready here for enamelling. But before we go along with that, I want to show you what I normally use for making the bowls. First of all, I've got a set of 3 sifters here. They are all 40 mesh sifters, and I think that works generally quite well. I have a couple of, I don't know what they're called, but they have soft rubber tips on them, and I use them for making patterns in the enamel before I fire it. I have a little paintbrush if needed to clear up or clean up a bit. Got a spatula that I sometimes use, and I have this soldering carousel which I use when I make patterns on the bolts. And Last thing here is clear fire, and it is in the spray gun here. So I use that quite a lot actually. So I use the clear fire half and half with water. And the last thing to use is the dust mask. It can be hard to work with that on, so it's not always I use it, but I recommend it. So, next thing is to select the colors that you want to use for for your enameling. On this bowl here, I want to use the 2015, the Thompson lead-free enamel 2015. In the inside, it gives a lovely golden color. And on the outside, I will use the 1010 Thompson again, and it's just a white. And I will also be using the soft flux 2007, and we can just let it progress and see what happens and see what we can make out of it. I'm just going to zoom in a bit more, and so take a little break and I'll be back in a minute. The first thing I'm going to do is take my enamel out and pour something in the sifter. And then I'm going to spray the inside of the bowl with clear fire. And then I'm going to sift it and then I spray another. And I sift another layer. And then I'm spraying another time. And this time I'm going to leave it to dry on the top of the kiln, so I'm just putting it there. So while the bowl is drying, I just want to put this enamel back in there. It's fine, we can do that. And we can make ready for the white we're going to have outside, sorry. I'll just take the bowl. See, now it has sort of even coverage inside, so it might need another coat or maybe two, and a bit long firing to get the golden colour out of it. So if I hold it like this, I can actually apply the outside enamel, and again use the spray. I'm going to spray again. And give it a little bit more. And I can get to the other part of it. And now again we need to let it dry on the top of the kiln, so I'll be back in a minute. So now it has dried and I can now make some pattern on the bowl. So I'm going to do it on the outside here, and just with the soft tip of this pen here simply draw into maybe you can see it comes a little pattern here. just a random pattern really. So, made a pattern, just a random pattern, and now everywhere where the copper is exposed now, that will create fire scale when I fire it, and that is a preparation for the next thing we're going to do, which is apply a soft enamel or soft flux over it, and hopefully it will change a bit of color, go golden. It will maybe, hopefully, go a bit red. But that's to see. So the next thing is really to fire this bowl, and I need a bit preparation for it, so I'll move the camera a bit. Thank you. Right, as you can see, I placed the bowl on the firing mesh here, and I've my kiln running, and it's set to 900 degrees Celsius. It's not the same as I was always going to fire it at that temperature. When I put it in, it will often drop over 100 degrees anyway. So, and I'm not going to time anything. I will look in the kiln and see what it looks like, and if it looks alright, I'll take it out. If it hasn't got enough, I'll just put it back in again and fire it some more. So, let's go. It's a bit wobbly, but I managed. So now we can just wait. You see, it's already dropped down to just over 800, and we'll have to wait and see what it looks like when it comes back up in temperature. Now it's below 800, so it sometimes can be nerve-wracking to stand here waiting for it to fire, and one firing too many can ruin it, or you can be lucky it creates something spectacular, new pattern that you haven't seen before. But I've tried this a number of times, so it should work the way I want it to. But you never know. Enamel can sort of have its own life, do what it wants to. And so now temperature is 790, and we still need it to come up a bit. Just take a look, see what it looks like. Yeah, the white hasn't fired yet. So. Normally when I'm firing, I'm always having the spatula in my hand, because then I tend not to forget I have something in the kiln, and sometimes I've forgot it anyway and just find all the enamel has run down the sides, and there's one big pool at the bottom of the kiln. So let's take it out and see what happens. Got a nice golden colour inside. May need another firing. So I also see that I've dropped a few bits of the white inside, but let's see if we can fix that somehow. And again, when you look at it outside here, there's a part of it here where the thickness, the layer thickness, hasn't been quite enough to cover. But it doesn't matter too much at this point. So we'll need to let it cool and then come back again. So now the bowl has been fired, and all the places where I did the pattern in is now gone black, and that's the copper oxide created by the copper, and that can be quite useful actually. So we can use a soft flux over it to see what happens then. And I'll take the 2007 soft flux. And again I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to sift all over, not only on the pattern but all over. So, done that, and now I'm going to put it back on this firing mesh and leave it to dry for a while. And just on top of the kiln, so I'm going to put it back here. So. And the rest of the enamel, we pour that back in the container. So we're going to leave it on the kiln to dry a bit, and then we're going to fire it and see what it looks like then. Then we can decide if we want to add any colours to it afterwards. So just a second. So now the the bowl has dried and we can fire it again. So back in the kiln, and it's still at 900. So we'll leave it like that, and as it did last time, it dropped to below 800, and hopefully we can we'll see, stop it again when we get over 800 somewhere, and see what it looks like. See, the temperature is climbing, so we can zoom out again. So temperature is now 820. So we leave it to climb a little bit more. $840, so let's take it out and have a look, see what it's like. So we just need to let it cool before we can inspect it really. So Back in a moment. So let's look at the bowl. Now it's been fired and cooled down. If you look at the pattern on it, it has now got a brownish red colour and that's the soft flux that is doing that. But it also come up with a bit of speckles, and that's a reaction between the white and the flux. So to add a bit colour to it, I'm going to try use a pink, rose pink Thompson lead-free colour. So let's go and do that and see what happens. Again, we're going to do the spray thing. And maybe not so thicker a layer this time, so I'm just going to go a little bit easy. So that's it. Now we can put it back on the frying mesh and leave it to dry a little bit. And now we're going to put the enamel back in its jar. So let's give it a firing and see what happens. And again, remember, keep it in your hand. So we're just waiting for the kiln to come up in temperature again. So we are about 850 degrees now, so I'm going to take it out. If I can get it, apparently a bit of enamel in the bottom of the kit. So, just need to let it cool down, and we can see if we're going to do anything more with it. So, put you on hold for a while. So, now the bowl has cooled down, and we can see the enamel has been, the pink one has been running down the side, and we need to clean it up, the bottom here and the rim, make sure there's no sharp points or anything. So to clean up the base of it, I'm using a sponge with diamonds on it. This is a very coarse one. Sorry about the noise. So that's all done, finished. So thank you for watching.